Hey guys, this is Nate Pennington from RunDreamAchieve.com. Hope you're having a great week of training. I know we've all been experiencing a lot of frustrations and concerns regarding what's going on with the news, but I wanted to make a video tonight in regards to how to run a marathon faster as you get older. And I think this is a really important topic because none of us can outrun time. I've had issues with this too because now that I'm retired from the sport and basically coaching online and offline athletes from the United States of America and around the world through the RunDreamAchieve.com website, I do fully understand how difficult it is to not be able to recover quite as quickly as you normally could when you were a little bit younger and not seeing the results as quickly as you really want them to come about. So in tonight's video, I just want to talk about some of the things that I've experienced in regards to the marathon specifically. I ran my personal best of 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 35 seconds when I was 31 years old. I'm now 43 years old, but I do know that you can still run great world-class, national class, regional class, stellar times for the marathon distance all the way into your late 60s. Some of these athletes that are out there, Ed Whitlock from Canada is a great example, who was breaking like the 3-hour marathon when he was like in his 70s, or late 60s. Absolutely phenomenal times. We've seen at the 2020 Olympic trials, third place finisher Abdi Abdirahman from the United States, who is also 43, ran a 2-hour, 10-minute marathon to finish third place. That's unprecedented. It was a master's record for the marathon distance. So in regards to what you can do is, I think more than anything, the most important thing you can do as you age is be more mindful of your recovery and be more patient than you've been in the past, because the workouts, the things that you're trying to do in training aren't going to come quite as quick as you get older, as compared to when you were much younger. And again, I ran my personal best for the marathon when I was 31. I ran a 2:26:42, which was my second fastest time in 2011 at the Indianapolis Monumental Marathon. And I was 35 years old then. And the last marathon that I ran was at the 2013 California International Marathon, and I was 38 years old then. And I ran a 2 hour, 32-minute, 55-second marathon. But I really think, regardless what age you are, whether you're in your 20s or you're in your 60s, later in life, continue to focus. I will continue to preach this on the RunDreamAchieve.com website and here on the YouTube channel. Continue to focus on that goal marathon race pace and training at, near, or far below that pace, because you want to get to a point where race pace feels not so aggressive, not so taxing on your body. And this takes time. The physiological adaptations of long distance and middle distance training really takes a lot out of your body, and you got to be paying attention to all the little details that maybe your competition are not focusing as much of their time on. And some of the big key factors that help me make those big jumps in the marathon distance. Now, keep in mind, my debut marathon was at the 2002 New York City Marathon. I ran a 2 hour, 43-minute, 36-second time, starting in last place. I was a part of a lung cancer research team. So we weren't allowed to start the race until every runner had crossed the start line. And for every athlete that we passed, Chase Manhattan Bank at that time was donating $1 to lung cancer research. So I started in 32,189th place. I still remember it, and finished as the team's top finisher in 257th place overall with 2:43:36. So it took me from 2002 to 2007 to go from 243 to 219. So, and regardless what your goal is, as you age, you have to focus more of your attention on one, hydration, getting more sleep, being able to, you may need, instead of 1 day recovery after a hard workout, you may need 2 to 3 days of recovery. So paying attention to that and knowing that, okay, I'm not as young as I used to be, but I can still train in a specific way to get a specific result. And again, you may have to adjust. You're going to have to adjust your paces on your long runs. I always teach that running your long runs at a faster pace per mile or per kilometer is really key. Running at a higher heart rate for a longer period of time will help your body learn to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up, especially when you're doing those VO2 max workouts on the track, or you're doing those really hard fartlek efforts on the roads or intervals on the roads. So just keep those things in mind. Know that you can still get great results as you age, and most oftentimes as we age, we do continue to get better. But again, it goes back to, if you want those new personal best, if you want to continue to see long-term results, you have to have that long-term commitment and that mindset that no matter what I do, I'm going to be a success at what I'm doing. You have to be thinking and visualizing yourself doing what you see that you think that you're not even capable of. You got to have those crazy goals, and you got to continue to visualize yourself doing the things that you don't think you're capable of doing. I use this tactic because I studied a lot of the greatest athletes. One of the athletes I really looked up to was Billy Mills. I mean, here was an athlete that had a personal best of just under 29 or just over 29 minutes for the 10K leading into the 1964 Olympic Games. And that guy almost ran 2 minutes faster than his 10K personal best leading into that event. And he said in one of his videos that it's a quote I'll never forget. It's the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality or imagination. And I think that's really very, very potent, because a lot of athletes know how to get out on the roads, get on the track, do the physical training, but we haven't mastered that mental training aspect of our preparation. I think the mental piece of middle to long distance runners, especially as you age, is absolutely critical. You have to see yourself doing what you believe is either possible or not even remotely possible in your mind first, because the subconscious mind really doesn't know the difference. You know, if your personal best for the marathon right now is 5 hours and you want to run, 3 hours and 45 minutes, that's a big chunk of time. But if you continue to visualize yourself running that time and seeing yourself crossing the finish line in that time, coupled with doing the hard workouts and being patient with yourself, you're going to have a much better chance of success over a long period of time. You have to have consistency. You have to be persistent with your training, especially as you age, because you have to be a much more patient, much more adaptable athlete as you age, as compared to when you were younger and you could get away with, eating crap food, taking in too many sugars. You have to pay a little bit more attention as you get older to your diet. I stress very, very heavily on nutrition. Absolutely critical. I have a sister site that I created about 2 years ago called nutritiongeeks.com. It's basically my Herbalife site. I don't really focus so much on selling those products to people. I just share, and if it's something that they're interested in and they see the opportunity, not only for the products themselves, because they are great products, the company's been around since 1980, but also the business opportunity. There's a lot of athletes and non-athletes alike around the world who are seeking to have an additional flow of income and know that their paycheck is not going to cut it always. A lot of athletes and non-athletes here in the States and around the world have too much month at the end of their money. And so I have a huge passion for entrepreneurship and business, finishing up my MBA now at Purdue University. So I created that site specifically for people that are really focused on nutrition and want to possibly start a home-based business. So I'll leave a link below this video if that's something that you're interested in. Another tip I really want to talk with you in regards to as you age and how to run a marathon faster as you get older is research as much as you can on glutathione. It's the body's master antioxidant. Every cell of the human body produces it. The problem is, as we age, our body produces less and less of it. So you have to take supplements that have glutathione precursors in it. And I'll leave a link below this video in regards to a company that's basically been the leader in glutathione research, called Max International. I highly recommend them as well. So just take a look at that. If it's something that's of interest to you, feel free. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe button and the bell icon, so when I make a new video, you'll be notified. I really think that it's very, very important to think outside the box and look at all angles of your training, especially, you know, if you're my age in your early 40s, you know how difficult it is to mimic and duplicate a personal best. I mean, I chased trying to break that 2:19:35 PR that I set in 2007 for a decade. Literally until 2017, I was continuing to push really hard, trying to improve that time. And the closest I ran was 2:26:42, which I'm very, very proud of what I did in the sport. But I also know that the reason why I was able to do those things was because I had great people around me. I had great coaches. I had a great support system with my family. I had athletes around me, surrounded me constantly that were way better than me. Sub 4-minute milers, sub 2:11 marathon runners, sub 1:02 half marathoners, phenomenal athletes that were way faster than me. So I really credit them. And that's really what I want you to, the takeaway I want to give you regarding this video is I really want you to surround yourself with the right people. If you don't have the great athletes to push you in the workouts, you have to make the decision yourself to get out the door, regardless of what you're seeing on the news, regardless of what you're hearing or what you're reading. You need to surround yourself with positive people and fill your mind with positive information that's going to uplift you instead of putting you in a state of fear, worry, and concern. You know, use your common sense. If you go out, wash your hands when you get back to the house. When you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. It's just common sense. And granted, I know people are going to, you know, we've grown up watching television. A lot of people focus on, you know, CNN.com or Fox News or MSNBC, all these outlets, and there's so much information that's being bombarded on you. It's very easy to get caught up with the negative thinking. But as you get older and you're training for these longer races, it's absolutely critical that you surround yourself with the right people, you stay in a positive frame of mind, you continue to do what others are not willing to do. And you have to be persistent and stay in that consistent, persistent mindset that I'm going to succeed regardless of what I need to do. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to continue to focus on hydrating better on my long runs. I'm going to focus on doing faster paced long runs over a longer period of time, alternating one easy long run one week followed by a harder long run the following week. I'm going to train at paces much faster than I'm training at, that I'm planning on racing at for the marathon. Maybe that's getting out on the track and doing 3 to 6 1-mile repeats at your 3K to 5K race pace, training much faster than your goal marathon race pace. Get to a point where you're teaching your body to improve its lactate tolerance. That's absolutely critical. You want to be successful in the marathon distance. I can tell you just from my own background that doing that will make race pace feel easier. And don't expect it to be easy. There's nothing easy about training for a marathon. You know, you may be somebody that's trying to break a 2:30 marathon, somebody trying to break 5 hours for the marathon. Regardless of what your time is, we all have different physiological capabilities. We all have different goals, different pursuits in this sport. And whatever your goal is for the marathon distance, you need to write that down. You need to visualize yourself doing it on a regular basis, at least 10 to 15 minutes per day. You need to slow down, turn off the television, get away from any electronics, visualize yourself just for 10 to 15 minutes, visualize yourself feeling great in your upcoming races, seeing that time that you're wanting to run the marathon distance on the clock, and doing that on a routine basis over many weeks and many months. I did that and years as well. The goal that you're chasing in the marathon distance may come in a few months, or you may not get it 5 or 10 years from now. It all depends on what your goal is. Like for me, I had some really, really big, competitive, tough goals. But I really focused on what was I most strong at and what was I weak at in my training. And I continually tried to focus on, really maximizing my strengths, but focusing on those weaknesses. Where are the leaks in my training? And the same goes for you. You need to find out what has not worked in the past for you. Steer away from that and continue to focus on training well, focusing on your hydration, being more patient than you've been in the past. And I guarantee you're going to get some really great results. A lot of great opportunities that are ahead for you. So if you have a specific question or a comment, please leave me a comment below and let me know if you have anything particular that's on your mind that you want me to cover in my next video. And if you are seeking a new strategy, you want to take your racing, your marathon racing to the next level, I encourage you to go to RunDreamAchieve.com, click on courses. I have several courses there that I've created that are video tutorials coupled with that ends with a 16-week block of training for athletes that are trying to break 4 hours for the marathon, 3 hours for the marathon, and 2 hours and 30 minutes for the marathon. I also have training programs for athletes that are at the novice level all the way to the elite level, all the way going from a 2:30 marathon all the way up to, I think I have around up to about 4 hours and 30 minutes for the marathon. So click on courses if you want a real in-depth training course of how to get to the next level in the marathon, and you really want that one-on-one interaction with me. And if you want something a little bit not as extensive, and you just want to say, okay, I want to know what I need to be doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly plan for the next 4 months, I definitely click on the training programs on RunDreamAchieve.com, and I know those resources will be really helpful for you. I'll leave information below this video as well. And again, if you like the video, if you like what I'm doing, give me a like and subscribe and click on that bell icon, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.